Hoi hoi, it's louisity again, and for this rereading vlog, we are going to reread Rapture by Lauren K. Hoorah! So, it's been kind of quick that I am going to be rereading the series. Like, we are progressing kind of rapidly, and I didn't really expect that, but it is what it is because of my, alphabet TBR games, which I'm really enjoying, doing. So yeah, it's kind of like a bittersweet, ambivalent feeling that we are going to be rereading this now because yes, we're going to be finishing the series already, with our reread, but it just happens so quickly. It's kind of like I'm still kind of processing, kind of settling, how, it is kind of quick that I am progressing with my reread of this series. I didn't expect, I thought it was going to take me years to, reread. I mean, typically, with series, it takes me years to, complete or even progress to them. So, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and I'm definitely looking forward to what is going to happen. Passion took us to a lot of different, time periods, and I remember, reading this the first time, it wasn't really, my favorite. I thought it was too fast, there wasn't anything the build-up was kind of slow, and yet it was fast, if that made any sense. But who knows, if I reread this one, I'm gonna find some hidden gems and that I'll appreciate it. So without further ado, let us begin rereading this one. Whoa! So here's a rereading update of Rapture by Lauren K. Now, I reread more than 200 pages, and I have to say, the one that I thought of when, the first time that I read this, that the build-up is slow, well, yes, I'm right, and that still stands today. Now, all we got is that they're finding relics, and they were kind of at the first, Cam, I think, and Daniel were in separate groups, hunting those, in relation to Lucifer, basically. This is all about Daniel and Luz's love simply, that, and maintaining that. They're trying to break the curse or something, kind of in relation to Luz's decisions and all that, but I just felt the stakes aren't that high. It's not building up. It's we were just getting into this journey of them going to Sinai, and then to Moldova, and to Austria, specifically in Vienna, and being with the outcasts and all that stuff, and kind of Luz, remembering her past selves, herself in other lives and previous lives, and that's kind of what we are getting. I'm already in the part where Luz gets to meet someone who looks like Miss Sophia. If you recall, in the first book, Miss Sophia is the one who's pretending to be a librarian and pretending to care, who ended up killing Penn. So yeah, that's kind of all I got, and it kind of makes me think, overall, that my reading tastes apparently changed. I thought I was just adding, books in terms of the tastes that I appreciate, and then stuff my tastes change. Y'all know, in except for Passion, I felt just fine with Fallen and Torment, and apparently I'm just not really feeling good about this so far. Well, I'm nearly halfway done. We'll see if it's gonna build up. I remember what happened that still made me enjoy this one, and hopefully it's going to make my rereading experience better when I get to that part. But overall, I'd say so far I can tell that because this is the last book in the series, and I'm considering only Fallen series with 4 books. I know it has a companion novel, or kind of a prequel novel, if I'm not mistaken, if I got it correctly. But yeah, so far you know, yeah, it's just not doing good for me, like this rereading of it. But I decide on what to do with my reading life, so I don't regret. It's kind of a way for me to like revisit and understand my tastes continually. So yeah, just still looking forward to reread this one, and hopefully there's going to be some sort of redemption in terms of like the way the narratives are written. So I'll catch you folks later. Whoa. Here's a rereading update of Rapture by Lauren Kate. I have to say that, I'm more than 300 pages done in my rereading. And the only things that I like are like the Christian references to it. Like, obviously, we are dealing with angels, so that is why it does talk about like Christian references. And the kind of like the battles are getting more intense, but it's just like there's not really a lot of happening. I mean, we get to see like Sophia and kind of like their battle against her, and like how the memories of like the deaths of Gab, I think it was Molly who also died, and Penn kind of like got back to lose his mind. And they still haven't found like one more relic. There are like 3 relics that they're like trying to look for, or artifacts. So that's kind of like what I got. And it was kind of like so, but yeah, it started out kind of stale and kind of like there's nothing really happening a lot. So yeah, well, I really like the some of like the things that like Luz is contemplating along the way. But yeah, it still had some like redeeming things, but we'll see how it goes. So I'll catch you folks later. Whoa! Just to add, though, it was heartbreaking to see Dee die or like reread that part that I didn't really remember during my first read. But yeah, it was sad rereading it. So I finally finished rereading Rapture by Lauren Kate, and I have to say that my reading tastes have changed. And basically, towards the end of the part, they were battling Lucifer, and that's when the stakes got higher, because Lucifer's kind of like offering a deal of, Luz being with him. But no, like Luz really wants to fight for her love, and like the throne gave them like a different deal wherein they can continue loving but as mortals, which to Luz it's kind of like a relief, because it's kind of like the curse doesn't have to like repeat every like 17 years, but there's like a catch wherein they won't remember each other, which is something that I remembered a lot when reading this one. So when I reread it, I was like, that was the one that really like hit me throughout the book, wherein they get to have the opportunity to live, but now as mortals, and they won't have any memory of like their previous lives. And then like the scenes, like the ending, it's kind of like they crossroad again, but they don't really know each other. And then like the former outcasts that now became angels are like, looking down at them and hoping and witnessing, the best for them. So it's kind of pretty much it. But yeah, in terms of like the overall performance or the overall writing of the book, I'd say that it's only 2 out of 5. So yeah. Feel free to comment down below what are your thoughts with the Fallen series, or if my rereading vlogs motivated you to read or maybe even revisit them and reread them. And if you've made it this far, leave a butterfly emoji. I hope you folks liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. I also put down links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there and support me there as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye, y'all.